So for this project, I interviewed my grandmother on my mom's side. She's been around my whole life, and she's aged right along with me. So I was really excited to get the chance to sit down and talk with her. Might not have been face to face, but yeah, it was great to sit down and talk with her. And here's our interview that we did. Yeah, hope you like it. So I'll start off by asking what you would describe successful aging as.
I think a person ages successfully if they continue to be productive in their life. They're able to be active as their health allows them to be. They adjust to each stage as they age, and just make the most of it instead of complaining about it. I know some people that get really depressed and just stay at home and go, boo-hoo, I'm old. And instead, you need to just participate with people and with life. And as you get older, there's things you can't do, but then you find something else you can do.
Okay, perfect. And then do you think that you have aged successfully so far?
I think so, yep.
Okay. And then, I guess, why from your point of view do you think so?
Well, I'm trying to keep myself as healthy as I can, so that I don't end up with health problems that could keep me from doing some things that I want to do. But I think my perception of life is healthy.
Okay.
And so that gets me going through each day. Each day is a new adventure. And if I can accomplish one thing each day, then that's good.
All right, I like it. My next question is, how has aging affected your relationship with your family members?
I think that lots of times the family members don't realize that you don't have the endurance or the stamina that you used to have, and still expect you to behave like you did when you were 20. I think they have a hard time understanding the aging process.
Okay. And then how have your relationships changed from like when your kids were little to now?
When the kids were little, I was in charge of their safety, their nutrition, their well-being. And now that they're grown up and they have their own children, I feel like I'm more like their peers. I'm their support person if they want me to be there for them. But I can only try to supplement their lives because I can no longer. My biggest thing is I like to give advice, and people don't want to hear it. But they don't realize that there might be a little bit of advice in what I share that they might be able to use. But it's hard for me to find my role where I can share knowledge because they don't want me to be right.
So that was my interview with my grandmother. And yeah, I just wanted to reflect on some of the things that I learned and realized through this interview. So growing up and now being, 21 years old, I always perceived my grandma and her aging as a certain thing, just based on things she's said to me in the past and the way she's interacted with my mother. But through this interview, I really realized how, aging is not the same for everyone. And I knew that, but it really drove it home for me. I perceived my grandma's aging as a certain thing. She camps still, she's still involved, but is really interesting to see how her own perception of herself has changed as she's aged, especially how she's interacted with my mom and my aunts and uncle. So yeah, I guess it just really drove home to me that you may think someone's aging has gone a certain way based on the people who are in their life or the life experiences that they've had, but you can't assume. You really need to let that person speak for themselves.